Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing the Tivo Stream 4K. It's an Android TV box that you can stream all of your stuff, Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, you name it, it can stream it. It doesn't have everything, but we're going to go ahead and unbox this today and see what it's all about. I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, I have heard some good reviews. It's new to the market. I don't exactly remember the date it exactly came out, but as soon as I heard about it about a week ago, I jumped on getting one. So we can go ahead and test it out. Now, I have pretty much every streaming box you can think of, or at least the well-known ones. So I have a Roku, I have a Roku TV, I have a Fire Stick, I have the Fire TV Cube, I have a Chromecast, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some of the other devices. My favorite so far is the NVIDIA Shield, and the next runner-up would be the Fire TV Cube, but it does have a few flaws and some weird things here and there. My favorite platform is Android TV, which is what the NVIDIA Shield and the Fire TV run on. So I'm curious to see how the Tivo Stream 4K works, because it's also an Android TV device. Now, one of the things that I did here is that HBO Max, that currently isn't supported on either the Fire TV or on Roku, it is supported on here. But I believe there are some things that aren't supported that are vice versa. So when we get to the full review, we're going to break it down and see what that's all about. But today we're going to unbox it and kind of scope it out here. But I am very excited based on what I've read so far for this device. I think it's close to perfect, and it's a new device, so I'm hoping that they're going to make some improvements after getting some feedback and make it as close to perfect as possible. Now, Tivo has been in the industry for quite some time. The late 90s, they came out with their personal DVRs and kind of took everyone by storm with those. So I'm hoping that they're going to do the same here with the streaming war boxes. So that's all there is inside the box there. Let's go over everything that came out of the box. So we do have a little get started guide here, just a couple pages to kind of show you the remote and show you some other things there. So there's not much to that, but you got that. In this little bag we do have what looks like a USB to micro USB. I do wish that they went the USB-C route, as I say in pretty much everything that I open here, but they did not. That's okay. You have the actual device itself with the HDMI on the end there. You have the remote, and I'll get you guys a close-up of the remote here. The remote looks pretty nice. So you guys should be seeing the B-roll of that remote right now. So hopefully it came out okay. I mean, it feels nice in the hand. Doesn't feel too cheap. It's got quite a bit of buttons on here. It does have the button for the Google Assistant. It does have a dedicated Netflix button, a dedicated Tivo button there. Of course, with your circular button with the enter in the middle, your channel, your volume, your input, your guide. So I mean, it's pretty much got everything you would need on the remote, so not bad. So as you're looking at the remote here, Up at the top, you're going to have the power button and the input. Pretty self-explanatory. When you pair this remote, it's going to have the power button turn the TV on and off, and it's going to use the input button to change the inputs. Underneath that, you're going to have the guide button for live TV. To the left of guide, you have volume up and down. To the right, you have channel up and down. So if you didn't want to go to the guide, you could just scroll channel by channel. Underneath that, you're going to have the little Tivo button. To the left of that, you have mute. Pretty self-explanatory. It's going to mute. To the right of that, you're going to have the information button. So when you're in something where it has an option for information, if you press that information button, it's going to give you some information about the show and or kind of give you some of these you may also like sections too. Your circular button where you can kind of scroll, use up, down, left, right, and then you have your select button or enter button in the middle of that. Underneath that, you're going to have your back button. You just use that to go back. To the right of that, you're going to have skip. Then you're going to have your Google Assistant button. When you press that, the Google Assistant's just going to come up for you to talk to it. This is where it gets a little strange. So underneath that, to the left-hand side, under the back button, is that little circular button. That's going to be your home button that brings you back to the main home screen where it shows all your apps. To the right of that is going to be the live button, which is under skip there. That's going to bring you to your live shows. Underneath that is pretty self-explanatory, your Netflix button. And then you have your channel numbers underneath that where you can type in a channel number. So pretty easy, user-friendly remote, just a few weird things. Maybe once you get used to it, maybe it's a good spot for it. But just wanted to go over that quick little information there with you guys. It does come with some batteries here, and then you have your plug. So just your standard plug there that you're going to use to plug it in. So that's really all there is to it. Now my only thing that I'm slightly nervous about is that anytime I get the stick version of any of these platforms, whether it be Roku, Fire, anything like that, the stick versions tend to not last very long. They tend to be a little underpowered, and I don't know if it's because they're sitting too close to the TV and they either get too hot or the signal just doesn't go very well. They tend to be a bit laggy. So I like the ones that are more set-top box where you can run the HDMI and kind of set the box wherever you need to put the box a little bit more, because they tend to be a little bit better. This is more of like a stick version. It does have a little bit of a cord here, but as you can see, you're going to plug it into your HDMI port, and that's as far as it's going to go. So I'm hoping that it's not going to cause any issues. What I might do is get a HDMI extension cable, so that way the extension cable will plug into here and go to the TV, and this can kind of sit down, so that way if there is any interference or any heat or anything like that, it shouldn't affect it. I'm going to probably do something along those lines. Now, as I'm looking at this device here, I do see that there's your micro USB port to give it power, but it does have a USB-C port on the side over here. Not exactly sure what it's going to be used for, but I will find out over time. But I don't know why they wouldn't have just made that the charging port and given you a USB-C cord. And I am curious. It does say this is the DC port for the micro USB, but I'm curious if you were to plug a USB-C power cord into the USB-C port, how it would work. I assume, though, you can probably plug in like a external hard drive or something that's got a USB-C out into there, but without actually being able to test it, I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. I'll go ahead and get some quick footage of the install process, and that'll be it. But this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to look like when you first turn on your Tivo Stream 4K. It's going to first want to pair the remote. So we're going to hold the Tivo and back button simultaneously until the activity light turns red. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. The light turned red, so it's going to search for the remote. Well, it popped up there for a second. Let's try that again. Now, I don't know if you guys are hearing it. I'm getting some weird interference, some like static kind of noise coming through the speakers here, so I don't know what that's all about. Alright, it took a few attempts, but it did finally pair there. Oh, no, it went right back again. This is weird. So, not looking good right out of the gate. Now, it says you can set it up with your Android phone. We're going to skip that. I'm going to choose my Wi-Fi and put in the password here. I'm going to fast forward over this part here. Alright guys, so I want to just chime in here real quick and say that I'm having a love-hate situation with this keyboard. I kind of like that it's got all the uppercase and lowercase numbers and everything all in one spot, so you don't have to keep, you know, going back and forth. But I had a few times where I was typing the letters. Well, now the keyboard disappeared, but I was having some time where I was typing the letters, but I was hitting the uppercase instead of the lowercase because I just was seeing it. So it's kind of a love-hate situation. It may be different for you, but that's my experience. A little bit of a slow go here. So I don't know why it took so long for the remote to connect, and I had to try several times for it to actually pair. I don't know why it's taking so long to connect to the Wi-Fi. Nothing else in my house takes this long to connect to it, and it looks like it couldn't find it. That is weird. Let's try again. I don't know why it's struggling to connect to the Wi-Fi. I might have to pause the video here and figure it out and come back to you guys, so that way it's not taking a long time. And the router is in the old office, only a few steps away from here. Alright, we're going to try connecting to my hotspot on my phone instead of this Wi-Fi, because I don't know what else to do at this point. Not looking good so far. Fingers crossed it'll at least connect to this so we can get into it and take a look. Alright, so it connected to the hotspot. I don't know what's going on with it not connecting to my home internet here. So it looks like right off the bat it's got a firmware update. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I may have to pause the video here and come back when it's done. We'll see. We'll give it a second here. So I am going to fast forward through this, and I will see you guys when it finishes. Alright, and now we're running into an issue where it got about halfway through the update and says it couldn't complete it. And now it just automatically started to try again. So there's all sorts of weird issues going on, and I hope it's not what it's seeming like. And I'm hoping that that's not telling us that this is just a horrible device, because that's the road it's going down so far. And I still have to figure out what's going on with the crackly speaker thing here. I checked and made sure that the HDMI cord was plugged all the way in, and it doesn't have that issue with another device that was plugged into the same HDMI port, so I don't know why it's doing it. Alright, so it looks like it finished the download and it's restarting and finishing its installing for the system update now. It showed it was about just under 140 megabytes, so I don't know why it took so long. It took a good 20 minutes, if not longer, for it to go through that whole process. It could have been partially because I was connected to my hotspot instead of the home internet, but still, for 140 megabytes should not have taken that long. I really don't know what's going on. I'm really hoping this update fixes the scratchy speaker thing, hopefully fixes the Wi-Fi connection issue, and maybe makes this run a bit faster than it's been running so far. If it fixes those issues so far, I think that'll be going in the right direction and we can get on course here. If it doesn't, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it and kind of see how it goes. But it's about halfway through the install here, so hopefully it won't be too much longer.
"20 minutes later."
Alright, here we go, loading back up again. The struggle has been real, but hopefully we are out of the woods. There's a very long Android intro there. Alright, here we are waiting for something yet again. Alright, now we can at least sign into Google here. Alright, so we're just going to go through and pretty much accept everything that comes up. Sure, why not? We'll help improve Android. So it's going to walk us through some things here. Just telling us what we can do with Android TV, the Google Play Store, and the Google Assistant. So for anyone who's unfamiliar that hasn't used them, it's kind of letting you know what you can do. And because it is Google, it does have Chromecast built in. So we can personalize, add TV shows and movies, and select streaming services. We're going to hit continue. So I kind of like this, where you're going to pick one or the other, but what happens when you get two shows that you want to choose both? Or what? We're going to go ahead and choose Walking Dead for this one. I guess True Detective. Guess we'll do Modern Family. I feel like it's two totally different movies. We'll go with The Godfather. I've never seen all of Big Bang, but I don't really watch the first 48, so I guess we'll go with Big Bang. I have not seen his Dark Materials yet, so I guess we'll go Sopranos. And why not Pawn Stars? So now I think it's just going to keep going. Well, the dots at the bottom are filling up, so we'll see what happens here. I don't know if I only get to choose one here, so just see what happens if I choose one. Okay, so it just hearts them. So I haven't seen this yet. I just added it to my watch list. Same thing with this one. Good Place is funny. I haven't seen this yet. I love Silicon Valley. I need to watch this. This is reminding me of a lot of shows I still have to watch. So you really could just go through these for almost ever and just pick a bunch of movies, and it's going to give you a lot more recommendations. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Now it wants me to pick dramas. So I'm just going to kind of skip through. I'm going to add some of these and then skip through in the video so you guys aren't watching me add these the whole time. And then we come to reality shows. Alright, and then we're going to finish. Apparently there's a problem adding another show. Now we can choose our streaming services. We're going to turn off Sling. I don't know the difference between Prime and Prime Video is, but we'll keep them both on. Alright, so here's going to be our main page. Very familiar to me, or familiar to anyone who has the Android TV platform. It's pretty much an up-down kind of thing, so you're going to have all your things across on the side over here, and then like HBO Max will go across this way, and so forth. You can customize your channels. You can use the voice search. You got most of your apps over here. You can add, or your favorites list, you can add more to your favorites list. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like Apple TV is one of the ones that's not available, but we'll take a full look at that in the full review and kind of see what is and what isn't available, as well as when I have some more time to kind of really put this through its paces and really test it out. I'll get it set up the way I want and try all the different services, see how they compare to other streaming devices, kind of try to break it just to kind of see if it's powerful enough, when it fails, things like that, so we can kind of give it a full review on if it's, for now, the best device or the perfect device. So I'll go ahead and test it out for a little while. Make sure you guys keep a lookout for the full review. But with that being said, we did have a few hiccups here and there going through the setup process, but all in all, it wasn't too complicated. I think for the most part, most people will be able to figure it out, and if they need some help, hopefully they can enlist the help of a friend or family member to get it set up. But once you're set up and you kind of go through all the customization, get it set up the way you want, it's pretty much a set it and forget it type device. Like I said, running on Android TV, that is my favorite platform of choice. I just haven't found the perfect device just yet. Maybe this is it, maybe it isn't, but that's what the test is going to tell us, and we will go through and make that full review in the coming weeks. If anyone out there has already gotten this Tivo device, let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you found this video informative, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and healthy. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. If there's anything I forgot to mention, I'll leave it in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please give it a big thumbs up. As soon as I have some time to test this out a little bit more, I will make a full review video, so make sure to check out for that in the near future. Make sure to share this video across any social media platform that you like. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section down below. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to ring that bell so you get notified of any new videos to come out. You can go ahead and follow the links on the screen to get to the older videos. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.